Warning! Lots of stuff happened.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SE on TV podcast for the DC Double Power Hour. I'm your host, Cleo. With me, I have Dom and Rachel and Nikki. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Not bad. Got sleep last night. I'm happy about that.
What is sleep?
What is sleep?
Right. Well, I haven't been getting very much. I've been getting maybe like 2-3 hours sleep at night for the last week. So,
Oof.
yeah, kind of rough.
We want to talk about first today, guys.
I was going to say, where do we start?
I like starting with Supergirl just because it's the
I
first
really
in the
do.
week.
Well,
First
technically
and-
Arrow is the first in the week.
Yeah.
In our week, not the week.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching Arrow, though, so not
I
my
like-
week.
I like covering Supergirl first because we all watch it.
That's true. Good point.
So there's a lot to talk about because there's more people. So
Mhm.
I like starting with Supergirl.
And plus, it's like the only odd one that's not on the same world.
Well, Black Lightning too. We're actually we don't know yet, but still,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
I was
seem
gonna
connected
say.
now.
You don't know. We don't know yet. You don't know yet.
Yeah, Supergirl. Can I just say the only thing that I can actually remember because I was so infuriated the whole episode is that I want to punch Alex in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my. This is like the only time I wanted to really just.
I wanted to give Alex a hug, guys. Like,
Oh my
you're-
god.
You're special.
No, think Supergirl had things under control for a bit, and then she just comes in and starts waving a fucking gun in her face, and then Julia goes all crazy, and then she's Purity, and then it's all hell breaks loose. It's like, what the fuck, Alex?
I mean, in a way, kind of understand because she's not only she's scared of what happened. She saw, because she saw what happened to Supergirl when she faced Rain, so she's scared that that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And she doesn't trust the World Killers, of course, and she has all
With
this.
a name like World Killers, how could you trust them?
No,
Right.
but I
Well,
wasn't.
She's just off the radar because she's, with the Maggie thing, then with Samantha thing going on, and then she has all this other shit going on, and it's like you need to keep your emotions and shit in check.
I still want Alex and Samantha to be paired together.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I
But
think that's my
Your shit.
What is that? My ship? Yeah, that's what they call that.
Yes.
I've never had a ship before. This is my first
I
one.
don't know.
Oh, you're witnessing Dom's first ship.
Yep.
For the crossover,
It's
I
sailing
shipped
away.
Sarah and Alex hard.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I hope this carries over and they have like a long distance relationship and they have special communicators to keep in touch and stuff because that would be cool. But obviously that didn't happen. But
No.
like, when it comes to the World Killers, yeah, I know Kara, Supergirl, she dreamt about them and, Julia was forward with Rain. And that's the only other one we saw. We didn't see Pestilence. But, like, with the name Purity, how does that sound like a world killer name?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that too, until she started saying, I am like the flood that's going to wash away
Yeah.
all the sins and
Yeah.
shit. And I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's like the biblical cleansing purity.
It's the flood.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm like,
paint,
oh, okay.
paint your windowsills and your door frames with sheep's blood and you'll be okay. We'll overlook you. It's good.
I mean, we did call it too last week that she was Purity, so
Yeah.
we were good on that one.
And we've
how
been
does-
calling that for a while, though. So
Yeah.
you saw Julia and her eyes, the color she flashed. So
mhm. So I mean,
I liked her.
she's
Yes,
a strong.
that's very
She's
cool.
a strong person. I mean, they read down her bio, and she's strong, just like Samantha. She's stronger than she thinks she is.
I think she's stronger than Samantha. I think she has more will than Samantha does.
I think she's cognizant of it a lot sooner than Samantha was. And I think Samantha's only so far gone because she has no idea this has been happening to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they did say that her having Ruby delayed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So her having a kid delayed it because chances are when they went through puberty, that's when all this crap happened.
Well,
It's
but
probably
it sounds
started
like
happening.
it only sounds like they've been around
Kinda
for like
conscious.
10 years. I feel like I heard 10 years in there somewhere that they've been able to be activated the last 10 years or
I
something.
don't know. According to Purity, though, you know, the persona they put on was a mask this whole time. Like, they were aware of it. They were conscious of it.
She said they knew that it wasn't going to be activated for like decades.
Yeah.
Says they knew that, but there's only so much that they could. It's basically they have split personalities. One doesn't interact with the other, really, because obviously when they switch to their world killer persona, their other persona has no idea what the hell happened.
I don't know. I think Julia's very aware of that. I think Julia knows what Purity's doing, and Purity knows what Julia's doing when either one is active. I think they're very aware of each other, because especially like at the end when Julia's like, yeah, take me instead. You could just, you could see that she knew what was happening at that point. She didn't have any questions really. She just accepted it. Like,
she doesn't, how's to say? She didn't know exactly something was happening to her, but she didn't know exactly what it was. Because that's kind of a far-fetched for someone to think that they're human all their life and all of a sudden be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm not. You know what I mean? And know exactly what's going on. She doesn't, she might have it.
As if the personas were like taking over. Like the fake masks were taking over and they were forgetting about the world killer thing. Mm-hmm. So
maybe it went too long, because of it being delayed by Ruby. It went too long.
Yeah,
it's the same way that Superman was last season was susceptible to the mind control power because he'd been on Earth too long and associated with himself as a human. Mm-hmm. That's why it worked on him and not as Kara. Because Kara was more recent and she only just started.
Yeah, she only just started working on her human self. Yeah. She was like up to this point. As soon as she, unveiled Supergirl, she was like, "I am Supergirl." Mm-hmm. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see how much exactly she does know, and if she's ever going to go back to being Julia, because there's no reason for her to.
Well, we haven't the first one that's gonna turn.
Yeah, there's no reason. Purity, she has no reason to turn back to Julia. Yeah. Sam, on the other hand, does. She has Ruby, and Sam's going to be, fighting to keep that. And as we right now
has her kind of best friend / roommate, who I think she likes more than a friend. That's kind of the impression I was getting when they showed her picture to her.
You could see it just like tearing right through Purity. As soon as the picture was shown.
Plus, with the last we saw, she was Julia. She wasn't Purity. They were
trying to get Purity to come out, though.
Yeah.
Well, they were trying.
She did that whole transformation thing that Samantha went through.
They had that magic lasso, and they were just trying to pull her in, kind of thing.
Wait, where was Wonder Woman?
That's the last one.
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Close to Cleo's heart.
I don't know. For me, I was just not invested in the World Killers this episode. I was more focused on Mon-El.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where this whole episode came together for me.
Turmoil.
And you mean the guys, their side adventure of fixing up the shit?
Sometimes I just end up liking the side adventure way more than, the actual main plot.
Well, I thought it was going to be a trio where, Wynn was actually getting his hands in there. It wasn't just John and, it was Mon-El doing all the work. John sitting there with his Martian fucking ale or whatever the hell he was drinking. It didn't seem that much of,
Martian moonshine.
There.
Oh, moonshine will fuck you up.
Yeah, it will.
I think it's because that storyline was a little more intriguing. It was more... It hit you harder because you're wanting, because he's been gone for 6-7 years, and it's only been 6-7 months. That is, don't know. I guess that's the human side that we're always looking for in that story.
I don't know. I understand that he's confused because, hell, I'd be confused too. And how he explained that, it wasn't that they fell in love. They were married because it would,
join the two planets.
It's kind of like in the medieval times where one prince got married to another kingdom's princess. It was kind of like that, so that
evil
by
times.
Trade and yeah,
that shit was still being done in the 40s, 50s.
I mean, I think it's still done now.
It's still done today.
Yeah. But still, like that was one of his most common. But I mean, he was very snappy with everybody, and then like it's like, is it more intriguing because everybody can relate to marital spats over stupid things?
It's not just marital spats; it's relationship spats. It's Yeah. I mean, we kind of knew that there was something going on with him. The way he would always tell Kara that he still cared about her, and in the way he was like when she started pulling away from him, he would kind of pull her back. Like he's just too. And I'm not gonna say scared, but like when he explained the way he like didn't love.
His Imra in the very beginning.
In the beginning, he grew to love her, but the way he felt about Kara was totally different. Was actually love from the beginning, and that kind of love's kind of hard to let go. And like you said, it kind of brings it all up when he sees her again.
I mean, not from the very beginning. I'm sure they hated each other at the very beginning, but I mean, it was something that because they actually got to know each other and then they loved each other. Whereas Imra and Mon-El, it was like, we have to get married to tie some ties because people are going to fight otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, this also puts into perspective, like for us as viewers, like why it was so easy for Mon-El to quote unquote move on, when we were just like, how could he do that?
He did it accidentally.
Yeah, exactly.
He accidentally moved on.
Red Bandit does say like Mon-El said that he was mourning Kara.
Mm-hmm. He was mourning Kara when they got married.
Yeah, because this is thousands of years in the future, isn't it?
Yeah. So she was dead.
She was dead, so he was mourning her. It wasn't just like, oh, I lost her mourning. It was like she was gone, and he found out as soon as he got there, kind of thing. Like, oh shit.
They're from the 31st century?
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
30th, 31st.
Yeah, he was mourning her, and he just did it out of almost kind of like back what would happen on Daxam. He just did it out of duty and to prove that this can they don't need to fight. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But he gradually fell in love with her. But you know what? It's different. It's a different kind of love. And I think Emra knows that, and obviously she was, do you not think I didn't know? It's like, duh.
I mean, it was good for John to be like, you know what, you just need to come clean, dude. Yeah. I mean, you can sit here and talk to me all day, but it's not going to solve anything.
It's hard to keep secrets from Martians.
When they literally read your mind.
Yeah.
All right. But I also felt bad for him because he is, even though he talked to her, it was just, to him, it was almost talking to her, he was like realizing that he has to put that past behind him, even though it's still here. Does that make sense? It's like really, it's like, it's still in his face, but...
Red Bandit and Chess says, I thought it was only 7 years. It was 7 years had passed since he left for Mon-El. But he went into the future to the 31st century, and he lived there for 7 years.
7 years. Yeah. And it was only been 7 months for us here. For Supergirl, it was only 7 months.
And then they time traveled, and that's how he got back. But, he was in the future at least 1,000 years, in there. So, Kara was dead at that point, 1,000 years later. Mm-hmm. He was gone for 7 years.
Yeah.
For him.
For him. He was gone for 7 years.
It's really confusing, kind of, but but it's like I felt bad for him. I really did.
I didn't feel bad, but I was kind of infuriated when, he's like, he's coming clean to Imran. She's like, yeah, I got something to tell you too.
Oh,
There's a reason why we came back. And he's like, what? Like,
I know, right?
I was sitting there like, you've been lying the whole time while he's been sitting here like, twisting and turning on the inside because of Kara, and you were sitting there on this huge fucking secret that was probably your fault in the first place. Like, your people planned this shit or something. He had nothing to do with the decision to come back, and you knew this was going to cause shit inside of him.
Well,
but we don't
what do you mean? What do you mean, her people?
I'm just assuming that it was just like her.
Well, her and Brainiac knew.
Yes, she said her and Brainiac.
Okay.
So I don't think it's her people. I think it's the Legion, and then they're like, maybe we shouldn't tell him since he's from this time period that we have to go to.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
He could have mentally prepared for this shit. He could have.
Mentally prepared for it while sitting in a stasis pod.
No, like, of course they're gonna tell you before you go in the stasis pod.
Yeah, right. But what if like their objective is they have to leave him there
to fix the timeline?
But even so, I think, I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
Even if they're like, you have to stay back, I don't think he would have an issue with that.
I don't think he would, but it's like, but then if Imran, how long did she know that he had to go back?
I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know.
She would be more distant with him if that was the case. She'd be trying to.
I don't think she would.
She wouldn't be keeping him closer and trying to make him fall in love with her again just to leave him. She'd be pushing him away.
No.
Yeah, to make it easier to leave.
I know it has to.
It would never be.
It definitely has to do with the world killer shit, because we already know about the apocalyptic world delete kind of thing in the future. There's nothing left of Earth. There's no documents, no history, no nothing. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
delete.
Just a giant ball of mud just sitting there doing nothing. Like, there's nothing on Earth anymore. So we know that it's connected to that. And I feel like they had to come back. They had to get involved, even though, Monhel's like, woohoo, we can't get involved. And everybody else is like, yeah, we're going to get involved because we came back for a reason now. So I have a good feeling, like, that has to do with the world killers and that whole control delete thing.
Yeah. And I do agree also with Kara that maybe they're not there to fight them. They're there to save them. Because if they return their humanity back to them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like whatever human facade they have is like they're not Kryptonian, they're just a mix, but I think that's a real thing for them. They say it's a mask, but it's like
after so long.
It's
after so long it becomes her.
They are that other person as much as they are the world killer.
Yeah.
It's not just fake. It's there. And if you can find a common ground between the two, kind of like Killer Frost and Flash, there's a common ground now. So yeah. I feel like that can happen. And then, Amanda and Julia and our third, Pestilence, we don't know her name yet, they'll be able to switch back and forth. Or maybe just be walking around like Kara.
You called her Amanda again.
Did I? I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm calling her Amanda.
I knew what you were talking about. I didn't even hear Amanda.
I'm sitting there going, who the hell is Amanda? Like, I'm literally going through my head being like, I don't know this character.
Why?
Who's Amanda?
Somebody figure this out, because I've called her Amanda from day one.
Put a post-it note on your computer.
I'm just gonna cover my whole. I'm gonna cover up my whole monitor in just big bold letters with a Sharpie. Samantha. Heck, I'm not even gonna put paper on there. I'm just gonna write it on my whole monitor.
Right. And then and then with Samantha leaving her daughter at the ice skating rink. It's like,
who's Samantha? I thought it was Amanda.
It's like it's getting with Purity coming in, it's getting stronger. It feels like, and
yeah, especially for Samantha.
Yeah, and obviously she flashed in front of her eyes flashed in front of Lena.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lena's like, I know what's happening.
I thought you were saying she was flashing Lena.
Yeah, she was flashing.
She just ripped her shirt
the way
Supergirl.
Kara does at the start of every episode.
Yes!
I'm Supergirl.
Seriously, every time I see that part, I do it too. Because I can't help it.
Yeah.
But I want to know what Lena
Empowering.
thinks is going on, because she's like, I know what's happening. And it's like, do you really?
I think she knows that Samantha's an alien, but she doesn't know that she's Rain. So
Well,
she thinks
yeah.
that she could just give her a little shot and be like, yeah, we're gonna tag you and all this shit. It's like,
I don't know
no,
what she's gonna do.
Lena, you're gonna get hurt.
I don't know.
And then Morgan Edge is gonna slide in to her DMs and just take over everything.
He's gonna slide into her DMs. I don't think she'd be up for that.
He's incapacitated right now, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's getting. I think with the next, and once they get all three of the pieces together, the little crystals or whatever there, I think it's going to be amplified. I still don't think they're going to be stronger, but I don't think they're going to be as strong as they would have if Ruby would have never happened.
Do you think we're gonna get Clark again? Like Superman's gonna come back and he's gonna come helping? Because I mean, he's like right there. Why they did reference him. They're like, oh, we're tracking him on the map. Are we gonna see him again? Because I mean, this is
It'd
the
be
time
nice.
where this is a good time for you to come back.
Honestly, I think it's going to be when there's another actual fight with the World Killers that he might show up again.
Yeah.
Especially if Kara's got to fight more than one of them.
All
Yeah,
I
I
know
feel like
is
when all three
I
of them are
want to
together.
see Clark show up for one of the crossover episodes.
That'd be awesome.
Cisco would. Oh, could you just imagine?
Ray
the
would fanboy.
Oh, everybody would fanboy. It'd be so cute.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they don't know him. He's not really like an idol to them,
But they've heard the stories.
I guess.
Ray would have fanboy. The fuck, he would be like, yeah. Well, of course he was Superman too, but we're not going to go that one.
Yo, no, I need that joke to happen.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that was a terrible movie.
I think that's one of the only recent it's not even recent, but it's like one of the only recent Superman movies I've watched recently.
I haven't watched any of them
Recent.
because the last one I watched was
like
with,
2006.
Yeah, I know. I haven't watched a Superman movie since then.
I've
So that's recent for me.
I've never watched a Superman movie. I hate Superman.
Man of Steel wasn't bad. It wasn't
But,
great, but it was
I mean,
bad.
I haven't even seen the Christopher Reeves Superman movies.
those are the last ones I've seen.
I'm just
Those are
saying,
the last
I don't like Superman, so I tend to stay away from those. I don't know why I watched Smallville, so I can't answer that question for you. But
Because that's more a story of Clark coming into his powers and growing rather
It's
than
probably
just
why I
Superman.
didn't like Smallville.
There you go.
Because I like reporter Clark.
But I think, I mean, the other thing we haven't covered is who actually fixed the ship. Wind
I
and
thought-
Imra.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
fixed that.
They're,
Well, I love the fact, well, we were thinking about our terms and it was different. You guys must have switched, and I was just like,
like the metric system and all this shit. I was like, oh boy.
okay, you lost me.
They're talking science and math and shit. I am done.
Yeah.
Later, Gators.
I mean, I understand what they were saying. It was like
Yeah.
the power current. They were overloading the power
Yeah.
because they were using.
Yeah, I
the
knew by-
unit of measurement.
12s and 10s.
I do love the fact that when, Wynn did ask, was there a manual for this? Because that would help so much. And then Emerald was like, it's not just that you lost the manual to the ship.
The thing is, what
So there was one. And he was like, manual.
We had the episode with Brainy coming in and being like, "Oh, this isn't gonna work, and your tech is stupid." If he would have just let Wynn help, it would have been done. It's kind of like this episode too, where they're like, "Don't touch anything, Wynn. Don't do this. Don't do that. You can just watch." If they would have let him help, things would have been done faster.
You know what? They should move Wynn over to Legends to give him a better spot. That's their solution for everything. So that's the joke. Anytime a character's not appreciated, just move him to Legends.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The difference is Wynn actually does solve shit.
Yeah.
So, like, if you took Wynn out of Supergirl, it's like, oh, wait, who's gonna hack our shit? Nobody.
The DEO.
The DEO has
Half the time,
random-
half time before Cisco, oh my god, before Win was even working for the DEO, he would come in and do shit for them. Before
Random
he even
computer
worked
tech
for them.
number 7 would do it.
No, they wouldn't, because they couldn't.
No, Supergirl and
I'm sorry, Win. I'm sorry I called
they
you
could
Cisco.
use Livewire. Oh wait.
She's not a hacker.
not anymore. She's been hacked.
She could have hacked as herself. She could have just physically gone to where she needed to go.
Yeah, but that's not.
And beat the system that way. She could have
zapped
herself into a computer, retrieved the data, and zapped herself back.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think...
Speaking of data, I'm wondering if Wynn got anything off of the crystal. The data spike that he had.
Speaking of data, how is Star Trek?
We don't know that.
Fantastic. Thank you for mentioning it.
But yeah, I'm wondering if he got anything off that. I mean, they haven't discussed that after he fell. But
they were trying to keep him away from the crystal too, right? Like they didn't want him touching it, like getting near it.
No.
And then I thought that was
no. They just he was hacking it, and he's like, it's gonna take like 5 hours, and then she came in and came up. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they got anything off of it. Even partial, information is better than no information.
Yeah.
I think they got more.
They might be able to track the signal now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I think they got more information out of Purity's monologuing than anything.
Probably.
No, but I'm hoping that they did get something off of it. It's just something, maybe something pointing in the direction of the next one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, a lot of crap went down.
Yep. But speaking of dual identities, what about Ralph Dibny on the Flash?
I loved this episode. I mean, Ralph is one of those iffy characters for me, but this episode sold it. He was like, other than him being mopey, it was great.
Which was weird because we just had him being like super unconfident the other episode, and then he gets a pep talk, and it's better. Although this pep talk was infinitely better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I didn't expect Killer Frost to give a pep talk, and it was great. Who
doesn't like the fact that Ralph can just morph into anybody he wants to now?
I like that he did it by accident. I think that was my favorite part about the whole thing, because I think I was folding laundry, and then he just shapeshifted, and I was like,
and then he's like, what's wrong with my voice? And I'm like,
no,
that's him.
Was that actor that he morphed into, was that one of the dwarves from Once Upon a Time?
Maybe.
I thought it was like Sneezy or...
Listen, even when I was watching that show, I didn't remember half of them existed, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
Isn't that one guy still a tree?
No.
No, they untreed him.
I know, that was a joke.
He went to college.
That was making a joke. Did he really go to college?
Yes.
It's kind of adorable.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
But, I don't know, it was just really good. But I don't understand, like, how he could get their vocal cords to sound like his without hearing them.
Yeah.
Or, like, because he was just, like, the warden that he morphed into, he did it just off of a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he knew him, because the warden used to be a cop, right?
I think
they mentioned that when Barry went into jail in the first place.
I do feel like he has come across the warden before.
Yeah, I think he knew him before. They were just using the picture as a frame of reference.
Because, Ralph has been, he's been a cop. He's, delved in that, and then he's some shady, investigator. Mm-hmm. So he's probably crossed paths with the warden a few times.
Okay.
But I like how, when he was the warden, the thing that was falling apart was his ear. It just kept melting on him. I'm like, and he was just like holding his face together, like he couldn't walk. It was funny.
It was very over the top.
It was, but he did a really good job impersonating when he wasn't falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then catching, you know, when Amunet's like, you told me there were no cameras. Like, well, I installed them after you left. It's like
why? So dumb.
No idea.
Yeah, he was just like riffing and just chose some of the wrong things to say. And she saw right through it.
Well, I mean, he did take his hand off his ear and it was melting, and then all of a sudden he was Ralph, and it's like, well, he's caught. I think he would have sold it if he would have kept it together.
Yeah,
quite possibly. Yeah.
Red Bandit says, I was hoping that Becca was going to join Team Flash. Me too.
I mean, I think she was onto him before she saw the ear.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, she was asking him, you know, the questions. But he seemed to be doing okay.
Now, is this power that Ralph has, is this something that was in the comics, or is this just new?
Not that I've ever seen. But, you know, my comic knowledge is limited, so. But no, I feel like this is new.
I mean, it works, and I just hope that, because I know Team Flash has figured out what the hell DeVoe's doing, and they're like, you know, there's all these other metas there at Iron Heights. He only took the ones from the bus. Who do we know is a bus meta?
Yeah, Ralph.
So, but I mean, I kind of knew something was going to happen to all of them when Barry was breaking them out.
That was upsetting.
It was. I was like, what the heck? So was he absorbing their powers or just trying to find the right body match?
You know what? I don't fucking know. Because I feel like his evil plan has gone off the rails.
Yeah.
He's like ad-libbing as he goes, and that's going to be his downfall.
Well, I know because he's Becca now, who's Lady Luck, right? He can still read minds, so he still has Dom's powers.
He has all the powers of everybody that he just killed.
So he was absorbing.
Yeah.
But then, okay.
But then just picked Becca, I guess? He probably picked it because he can get at Barry better with that face, maybe?
Maybe. Because he was really connecting with Becca.
Yeah.
Even before he caught her, he didn't really want to. He wanted to give her that chance, but she was really, really dangerous. I think she was the most dangerous out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she was going to cause a dark matter explosion in the middle of Central City and blow everything up. Mm-hmm. I don't think the rest of them could do that.
And I didn't like her in her episode. Like, I mean, I liked her, but I liked her character, but I didn't like her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in this, it just really, she was very repentant, and I really connected with her. And I think they did that on purpose, those bastards.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not only, you know, a knife in Barry's back, it's a knife in our back, too.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Only George R. Martin did that.
Yeah, Red Bandit says the actor who played Dwarf Star played Moloch on Sleepy Hollow, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I looked, and the actor who played Earl Cox, that was the guy that he turned into, that Ralph turned into, the guy that confronted him in his office, was in a couple shows. He was on Supernatural twice as two different characters. He was on Fringe as a character, and he was in fact on Once Upon a Time, not as one of the dwarves. He played the Knave of Hearts.
Oh, so he had like a little role.
Yeah, he was only in for 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So.
Huh. I mean, I like how they got to use Cecile's gestational her telekinetic power.
Gestational.
That's what they call it. But
I absolutely loved how she started off in this episode and didn't just immediately blurt out everything she heard in other people's heads like she did last episode.
Yeah. So you did go back.
Like,
you did go back and watch the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she held it in and she was like, "Yo, Iris, there's something wrong."
Yeah.
Which was, I'm actually gonna hate it when she loses this.
No, I'm not.
If she loses it.
I mean,
This
I feel
is just
like
a theory. There's no reason.
If she gives birth and doesn't have those powers anymore, then it was the babies that were causing the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still only confirmed one baby.
We are.
They haven't said that they're twins
We're-
yet.
We just keep calling them twins.
Yeah,
No,
we
it's
keep
twins.
saying twins.
It's twins. Because she even said herself, "I'm bigger than I was with my last child." Like
Yeah,
they're hinting at it already.
But in real life, that can happen with one
It
kid,
could,
when
but-
you have one baby. So
It could, but,
Babies are different.
but
yeah.
a throwaway line like that in a TV show, that's
Nah,
something
no.
they would edit out. That's done
in a TV
purposeful.
show like this.
Yeah,
yeah, it does
Those
mean
throwaway lines sometimes mean things.
they 100% mean things.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I kind of want her to keep them because as a DA, it seems handy because then you know when people are fucking lying to your face and you can be like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I hope she keeps them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus, it'd be
And I
easy as
also
a
hope her
mom.
baby is not psychic because growing up a psychic must fucking suck.
Uh-huh.
Just hear everyone's thoughts all the time.
Oh, man, that would suck so bad. I don't
Yeah.
feel like...
Get everybody's ATM pin codes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, child of
That
crime.
baby is born for crime.
Oh, and it makes sense because, kids go through that rebellious stage. And if your dad's a cop, what are you going to do? You're going to commit crimes.
Steal shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your dad's a cop and your mom's a DA.
But I loved watching Barry work with the criminals to escape. Like that was really cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We don't need to hurt them. Bam.
And then getting Barry out of jail now. Like once and for all. That was very, very clever on Ralph's part.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Just transform into DeVoe. By the way, I'm alive.
That was really good.
Crazy.
I mean, we live in a world where people come back from the dead all the time.
And the judge was just like, I mean, I guess.
I got
You're
nothing.
alive. You're right there. There's nothing to put Barry in jail for. Goodbye.
Like, okay.
He was kind of choking down his words. He didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say when a dead man comes strolling into your courtroom?
No, he came rolling.
I mean, yeah.
That's why I didn't say walking, but okay.
Strolling, walking, same thing.
No. If you're being pushed in a stroller, that could be strolling.
Well, he wasn't being pushed in a stroller. little baby Defoe in a stroller.
Yep. Yeah. But I don't know. With him having with DeVoe having all the powers of it, all the metas now, he's got Lady Luck's powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which that is probably the most dangerous power that we've ever come across.
Yes.
How do you get a hold of the Euphoria tears?
Yeah, also, why don't I remember what those are?
They're from another bus meta. He used to cry.
Oh, that's right.
tears.
They beat the shit out of him to get the tears,
Mhm.
right? Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that he confronted that guy. Remember, he flew out of nowhere over the fence, and we're just like, oh, why is he floating? That's so weird. And that was like the first time we ever saw that. So now we have confirmation. That's what happened.
So he
to
must
him.
have his power.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's just terrible that he has to drug his own wife now.
Yeah.
But I mean, she is putting up that sing-songy wall, so he can't tear into her head and read her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be like somebody trying to read my mind, and all you hear is banana phone.
Or a Spin Master song.
Spin Doctors?
Spin Doctor. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever. Same shit. Different pile.
Yeah. Two princes. But I don't know. That's going to be crazy to see, because he's got the Dwarf Star guy, too. He could shrink and embiggen things at his own will.
Yeah.
Like, he could do that to himself if he wants.
He could, but he seemed to not do it or have any desire to do it. He just...
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, he still has his thinking powers, too. So he has that
It
power
seems, though,
to...
that he's too distracted with all these other powers that he has right now that it's almost taking it away. And I think it's going to be one of those things.
And his head explodes.
I think it's going to be one of those things that the more he absorbs, the weaker he is. You know?
The less he can predict.
Because it's like sharing, it's spreading the powers out amongst, it's like evening them out amongst themselves.
Yeah, and...
Or the more power he absorbs, the less space he has, and they're still at their regular strength, and he implodes.
Yeah.
He dies from overpowering.
He literally said, "I don't have an answer for you right now. Too many variables." Like, that's not like him.
Yeah. And that was, before he decided to go in a different direction with his plan.
Yeah. And
when his wife questioned him, he's just like, trust me, that was all on purpose. It's all for the best. I never said I would, wait.
Yeah.
Like, sure.
He's like, cute, drink my tears.
Going crazy, I think.
I'm just gonna drug you and we're gonna dance to pretty music.
Yeah, the pretty music that's in your head.
That we're both listening to.
Yeah. I don't know. And then we had Team Arrow. And
still not watching.
Yeah, I assumed as much. And we had Caden James still wreaking havoc on the city. This time he's got a bomb.
Oh, he's always had the bomb.
Yeah. Well, the focus was the bomb, and it was, we can't go after him because he'll set the bomb off wherever it is. We don't know. We got to find it. So that was kind of the whole episode was, let's find the bomb. And Vigilante is working as, the double agent.
Triple agent?
Yeah, I don't know.
Double agent.
The double, triple agent. Toiling trouble. And, they get into a position where it's like, okay, we know where the bomb is, but Vigilante's caught now. They know he's working with them because he hacked into Caden James servers and uploaded the information to Ollie's team and all that foolishness about it. And so they started torturing him. Anatoly was torturing him. And it came down to they got to go get the bomb or they got to save him. And they're like, well, Vigilante's a kind of a meta. He heals and stuff. He'll be fine. We could let him get tortured because, we've seen it. Like, they literally slit his face and it just healed within seconds. So... it's like
no, I know, but it's still a little fucked up.
Well, it's more of the life of one versus the life of the city.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
And you know what? Vigilante, even he had him and Ollie had a talk, and Ollie was actually trying to talk him out of doing this crap, and he was just like, nope, I'm in it, and I'm gonna do it, whether you like it or not. So. Vince is a vigilante, what you want to call him. He knows what he got himself into. He knows what it entails. And as we found out later on, he didn't turn on his comm. Someone else did.
Yeah.
So to draw them out, to separate them. That has been their plan this whole entire time, is to divide and conquer this team, try to separate these teams, because they know that they are stronger together than they are apart.
So that's why, this whole keep the team separate thing is working out great for the villains. But then, we kind of had some doubt there too, because we have the villains that seem like they're separating. We have Vigilante, and then we have Laurel, Black Siren Laurel, who is kind of stalking Lance.
Mm-hmm.
And
sounds
well, she wants that relationship with her father that she never had, and he wants his daughter back, of course. That didn't go down as well as he would like.
Yeah, he cornered her, led her into this abandoned building.
It was like an
area.
art studio.
Yeah, and she fought, and then he turned around, came out of a curtain and surprised her, and then showed this whole screen of here's my Laurel, and videos of her fighting as the Canary and saving people, and photos of.
It was hitting her. It was really hitting her, though. You could tell.
It pushed her too far, too fast, and
yes,
she retaliated by going back and using her sonic scream right in Vigilante's ear, killing him.
Well, yeah, we're speculating that he's dead. Either that or his brain heals itself and he's but
he's a potato.
Something like that. We don't know yet. For all intents and purposes, he's dead. But if they wouldn't have went after Vince, he's probably would still be alive.
But the city wouldn't be.
No, if they didn't go after Vince,
mm-hmm.
No, they probably could have got the bomb all because everyone would have been together. If they would have not gone after Vince,
yes.
If they wouldn't have split up, holy surprise! In this case, Ollie was right. But
I think the sky is falling. I have to go check.
Shocker,
right? He was right. And granted, Dinah's he's my family. We all know that she still loves him and he still loves her, all this kind of stuff. But, as someone that is a meta and does heal, it does hurt, but he knew what he was getting into. And even Ollie said, this is not what Vince would have wanted you to do. He knew what he was getting himself into. And then she just didn't listen, of course, because she was more emotional than rational at this point in time.
As soon as we started getting flashbacks this episode, because we've left that format for a long time now, we haven't had flashbacks. As soon as we started going back to flashbacks this episode, and we're learning about Dinah and Vince's undercover job that they worked on together in the past.
Before.
I was like, okay, Vince is not making it through this.
Nope.
I knew it right then and there.
Yep, I knew he was dead.
Because I was like, why give us this backstory now? It's a little too late for that. We already know that they were, all this stuff. It was, I don't know. It was just, all signs are pointing to his death to me. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a stupid mistake on Dinah's part and on Team Not Arrow, because I don't have a name right now. To do this, but now that it has happened, and Dinah saw him get killed because she was trapped under a steel beam. She saw this happen, and now she's out for blood. She's turning into more of a vigilante than the vigilante was.
Yeah.
She is full blown off her rocker now. She is scary, and that's not a good place because the first person she's going after is Laurel. And if Lance loses another Laurel, what's going to happen to him? Is he going to go right back into the bottle, or what's going to happen?
I don't know. He's already well aware that Laurel killed Vigilante, so he's already crushed over it because he feels like he's lost her again before it even started. So I don't know. But
if she dies again, not only did he lose. Okay, how many times has he lost his daughters?
Too many.
And how many times can he keep crawling back out of the bottle?
But they just keep coming back. Seriously, someone just electric fly swatter them, please.
So, I mean, in this situation, I think Ollie was right when he said we should go after the bombs, because when they got to where the bombs are, not only did they have hostages, but they took, 4 same exact trucks and went separate ways. So Bob was on one of them, and they couldn't, because it was only him and Diggle. So they couldn't, and Diggle was disarming the bomb around the people. But if he had the other people, each one could have followed a van.
Yep.
Sure.
And so I think they're going to have to, Team Not Arrow is going to have to realize that was a bad decision. They're not thinking rational. And that's why, and then they're going to think that's why Ollie did some of the things that he did, because he had to think about rationally and not emotionally, even though his emotionally thoughts, would have won out. But sometimes you can't think with your heart. You have to think with your head.
I mean,
this is definitely a time that should have been head over heart.
I feel like, I did watch a little bit of Arrow, and that was like the first few seasons, and Ollie was, think of me, think of my family, whereas now he's been the mayor, and, he's thinking of the many over one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think not Team Arrow understands that yet.
No. And it wasn't like Vigilante was just some Joe Schmo that didn't know what he was getting. So he was an undercover operative who's doing double duty as a double agent. He knew what the consequences were.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like he didn't know
and
what
he succeeded in his mission. Like he got the data to them. And I mean, the episode is called All for Nothing, but we find out that it wasn't in fact all for nothing, because the data that Felicity received, and Felicity was working with her Helix recruiter.
Bitch.
Yeah, the girl that recruited her to Helix from whatever.
Don't like.
Yeah, but they discovered that the video evidence that Caden James received that shows Oliver killing his son is doctored.
Doctored by the same people.
It's doctored by the same people that doctored the Green Arrow photo that was released to the public. So
and Caden didn't release it.
Yeah, they originally thought that was Caden James, and now they're finding out that's not the case. So we got a new mystery to solve.
Who is this person?
All right,
that's like
Scooby Gang.
Yeah,
it's a person that's basically one or two steps ahead of Caden James, because this person knew what Caden James would do.
Yeah, they're basically manipulating Caden James to manipulate Ollie.
This and also his son wasn't a little kid; he was in college.
Yeah,
because when they got killed, he was like basically it looked like a college cafeteria studying.
Yeah.
So, and the timestamp and everything, of course.
Ollie
wasn't even in the. I don't think he was even in the country at the time.
Yeah, I don't know where he was.
Yeah, so we have another mystery. Who's pulling Caden James's strings?
Yep. So their new objective is to prove that it was doctored, irrefutable proof, and deliver that to Caden James. And I'm sure that'll get them to stop. But
I think whoever's pulling Caden James's strings right now, and I think Anatoly's going to get pissed off that he was pulled along for the ride.
Yeah.
Because he's not the one that likes to be pulled. He likes to be pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see about that one too. And so they made some mistakes, and I see where they're going with the storytelling, and it is what it is. And I hate to say it, that he was right, and it was really weird. It was just like, wait a minute. Are you sure this is Arrow? It was a little more somber episode. There wasn't any joking really in there. There was trying, but it was really awkward because Felicity was like, yeah, we changed your room into a workout. An awkward joke didn't work, kind of thing, And
well, if you think about it, all the DC shows are kind of hitting that midpoint because they're 22 to 24 episodes a season. That midpoint is where they start getting a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they're working their way up until the end. So you might get a jokey episode here and there, but until episode like 20-ish, the tones are going to get a little bit more serious.
Yeah, this one, it was definitely serious. It definitely, a lot of character changes. We don't know what Renee and Curtis, how they feel about what happened, but we do know that we saw Dinah at the end because Ollie went and visited her. She is pissed. She is beyond pissed. Mm-hmm. She's out for blood now. She's not out just for revenge. She's out to kill them all. With no matter what. She had that crazy look in her eye. She's out for blood. She's not out to just maim them. She's out to just straight up mangle their bones until they're dust kind of thing. She's mad.
Now, aren't we supposed to get Roy Harper back this season?
From what I've read, yeah. I don't know when.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm actually kind of curious to see if they're going to tie Roy into this person who's been framing Ollie.
I don't know.
Also, you know who we forgot about? Ragman.
Oh, I didn't forget about Ragman.
Mm-mm.
Definitely did not forget about Ragman. I just don't think he's quite tied in yet.
Yeah, no, I know.
I know you guys were talking about
Ragman would have been my guess as to like framing Ollie, but like there's no reason.
I don't think
for
he
him
would.
to do that.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
But Roy seems more like maybe he's having a Mirakuru relapse or something. You know, like I don't know for sure, but
I don't think Roy would have anything. If anything, if they're going to bring him in, they might be like, "Hey, we need." They get traced back to where Roy lives, like his city where he lives, and they'd be like, "Hey, we need information. Could you have?
We need the Christmas arrow to come back."
The Christmas arrow.
So it's like a 1 or 2 episode arc with
yeah,
Roy. Yeah, because I remember you guys talking about him.
That's when I first started watching. Arrow was when Roy was on. The first episode I ever saw, because I was watching, I think, just The Flash at that point, and then there was a crossover coming up or something, so I watched it and I was like, Cleo, who's this Christmas Arrow? And you're like, Christmas Arrow? I was like, yeah, they're red and green. It's Christmas. So Roy is always the Christmas Arrow to me forever.
He can't, but he's only the Christmas in that context. He's only the Christmas Arrow when he's with Ollie.
Well, yeah.
By himself, he's just red.
No, I know.
But yeah, so
he's the Crimson Chin.
This episode was definitely interesting and a little more of a nail biter. It's more of a nail biter than they have been in the past.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. I don't know. I can't wait to see who it is because up until this episode, I 100% agree with Cleo that it felt like a rehash story with a hacker involved, you know, and now I'm like, okay, well, they're putting a big mystery twist on us now, and I actually really like this. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big twist you didn't see coming. I didn't see that someone else was a couple steps ahead of James and is actually
both
pulling
of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, and of course, the team hasn't realized that they are being manipulated, whether they want to believe it or not.
Yep.
And it's kind of sad because, you know, I mean, granted, I know the reason why they're angry and they have every right to be angry, but at the same point, I think this instance needs to wake up and go, hey, you can hate each other. You can work in separate layers, but you guys need to work together. Otherwise, shit is just going to go downhill. People are going to die. Things are not going to get done. Yeah. And it's not going to go the way that you want them to go.
Yep. They should put Ragman on Legends.
I'd love to see his background. I want to see we've always wanted to see the background of the Rags.
Because then Ragman could go back and meet his father. It'd be fantastic.
He knew his father, so
Legends right now.
More when his father
meet his ancestor.
Oh, his ancestors. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, whoever had the robes or whatever. And then while we're at it, we could move Olsen over to Legends. Because we've deemed Win as too important. Nobody cares about what Jimmy's doing.
It's true.
Cat Greg comes back. What's for
I don't see that
to do?
Maybe we'll see more Guardians.
There's Lena's taken over the thing, so we don't even need Jimmy.
Well, she took over the business side of it. Jimmy's still running the paper.
Right, yeah, but I mean, he could go onto the Legend ship and she could run the paper. It's not a big deal.
Right now,
can she run the paper?
Sure.
I don't know.
Right we'll have Amanda do it. New character, Amanda.
Amanda.
Don't confuse the shit out of Nikki.
Well, right? Samantha and Amanda.
I wouldn't. You know what? If they just lost Guardian somewhere, I'd be fine. He's not really adding anything. Man. I like Jimmy, but
they fucking missed out on an opportunity. They could have made him Steel, and I'm still upset about that.
They could have him meet Steel, and it'd be even more
Steel
fantastic.
has a big ass hammer. Oh my god, I'm so upset.
They could have him meet Mr. Steel.
Mr. Steel?
Yeah, from Legends.
Legends.
Nate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's new in the world of Black Lightning? Because I'm still behind.
It's kind of a really, I mean, they live in Freeland, but they're not free. I found that out this episode. I was like, wow, what a name to call a place where everybody is kind of like stuck in their own little prisons.
Yeah, It's fantastic.
I mean, that's not all I got out of this episode, but that was something we were kind of thinking about.
Not Freeland.
No, it's Freeland.
It's Freeland, yeah.
Like Greenland, but
Freeland, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
To be honest, not too much happened this episode. It was very concise. I mean, we had Jefferson, Black Lightning chasing down a new drug.
Mm.
What was it called? Green
light.
Green light, and it's supposed to be when ecstasy and something makes a baby.
Okay. No, PCP.
PCP
and ecstasy
and ecstasy when they have a baby, and the first taste is free because it instantly hooks you.
So addicting, yeah.
Yeah. And that they've had it's only been out on the street for not even a week, and there's
13
been
overdoses.
Yeah.
4 of them were fatal.
No, I thought it was 30 overdoses, and 8 of them were fatal or something.
Yeah, that's
like that.
Probably more accurate.
Yeah, and it seems to Hulkify them when they start to overdose, because
the kid ripped a fucking urinal off the wall.
Yeah, and he actually,
when you gotta go, you gotta go.
I don't know, because when he was going after Jefferson, he had to zap him twice because he almost overpowered him.
Yeah.
So there's something going on with that.
I was actually upset at that point because he zapped a child who was right next to a spurting water coming out of the wall where he just ripped out the urinal. I'm like, Jefferson, you're gonna kill this kid.
And then he zapped him again and then knocked him out. But I mean, at that point, if he didn't do that, he would have got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
He would have been in the hospital.
And if the kid kept hulking out like that, he could have had a heart attack.
That's true. Yep. This whole green light thing is actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because, we get that whole Breaking Bad, the blue meth is the reason why The Walking Dead exists, blah, blah, blah. It started the zombie apocalypse. Well, no, I mean, that's just
100% canon.
Fan theory. But, I mean, I kind of get, Tobias and Miss Eve?
Lady Eve, yes.
Lady Eve, I feel they're not even, I don't even think Lady Eve is the one that's in charge of it all. I think there's another person on top of that who has all the, ability to make this new drug and is trying to take over Freeland.
Yeah.
For a start. This drug.
I feel like almost Lady Eve is part of a council because she refers to us. We gave you the 100. You lied to us.
Mm-hmm.
That you killed Black Lightning. Because he's clearly alive.
Clearly.
So I feel like there's a council of bad guys. And that looming, there might be more, people as powerful as Lady Eve is really, really freaky.
Oh, yeah. Red Bandit says in chat, the green light drug seems similar to the vertigo drug from Arrow. And I remember that episode, actually.
Yes.
That whole build up. It does seem very similar, except I feel
it's similar in the danger and the addictiveness,
mm-hmm.
but not in the symptoms.
Yeah, not
Symptoms
the
is the wrong
effects.
word. Yes, effects.
Yeah,
Symptoms
like
is the wrong word.
Vertigo doesn't make them Hulk out, and it's not like super duper fatal right at the beginning. Like, but
So it's
yeah,
like Power Max?
What's Power Max?
Why does that sound familiar?
Have you really not watched iZombie?
Oh.
Oh.
No.
I've watched like 3 episodes.
I mean, that show's been on the win. There's too big. Like, it's been on a big break, and I forget things. But I don't know, Tobias, and then there's like, what was it, Two Shines or two?
Oh. 2 pence? No, that's not.
2 cents? I don't know.
2 cents? 2 pence? I don't remember.
It's not Tupac. But he was funny. He was really funny because, he seemed really cool as a drug dealer anyways, if that is the thing. But, he has a relationship with Jefferson that goes back again. Like, Jefferson had a really colorful past, I can assume. Like, we're not getting much of it other than, he was Black Lightning 9 years ago.
And, I mean, I think he wasn't being facetious when he said, I'm not the one who became an Olympic athlete. I think Jefferson was in the Olympics.
So maybe I feel like
I think
he
really does have a colored past, like a storied past.
So now I'm like, I mean, it's confirmed he's a meta, right?
Yeah. Well,
so I think
no, they've never used the word meta. It's just that's what he was in the comics. He was a meta.
I think up to the point where he turned into Black Lightning. I'm saying he turned into Black Lightning. I don't think it's in his genes. The way that it is in his genes, the way the metas work. But he wasn't born this way. Yeah. I feel like he had an Alex Mack accident. And that's how he became Black Lightning.
Yeah. Sorry. I think it happened exactly like that.
Well, the same way
my best friend Ray never mind.
Kind of like Jessica Jones had an accident like that too, where she came into contact with a chemical, right?
Jessica Jones is a little more complicated.
What was it that came in contact with a chemical?
It was Daredevil.
Okay.
Daredevil was blinded by the same mutagen that turned the Ninja Turtles into Ninja Turtles. No, that's not a facepalm. That's actual.
No, I know. Technically, I mean, Daredevil did it first.
Right.
What a hipster.
That's why Ninja Turtles, the foot, they're called the foot because
the hand.
Joke on the hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I, as a child, knew Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first, so I always thought that Daredevil copied Ninja Turtles.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like, he was probably an Olympic athlete up until he got changed to Black Lightning. I think that's where the whole thing transitioned, and that's like this whole time I was assuming he was born different. Mm-hmm. He was born with these powers, but I'm kind of like thinking that's not how it happened anymore.
I'm really liking how they're drip feeding us information about their past.
Mm-hmm.
It's really suspenseful because I've got all these questions, but I can wait because this show is so good.
Yeah.
We got a little more information about why Tobias thought that Black Lightning was dead. Apparently in whatever big epic fight they had that landed, that had Jefferson quit being Black Lightning. Mm-hmm. He threw him in the river, and then the coroner told him that Black Lightning was dead. He's like, yeah, I saw Black Lightning get, cremated or whatever.
I think that he's the lead coroner now, but 9 years ago he was just the assistant, and the other coroner that he was working for told him that was Black Lightning, and then told him he was dead, and then watched him get cremated. I think that's how it happened. Because
I think so.
So now that he's the head, he gets whooped because the other guy's long gone.
He didn't just get whooped. He got beaten to death, like punched to death.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. He's no longer the lead coroner.
No, he's no longer anything.
No.
So that explains why Tobias thought that Black Lightning was dead. Mm-hmm. I'm curious why Jefferson thinks that Tobias is dead.
I think he might have been like incapacitated got shocked into being unconscious, and he just assumed maybe he did have that point where he was dead and then he came back. And Jefferson, since he fell off the radar, maybe Tobias did too, because he did say this episode that I can't be out there, I still have warrants against me. Yeah. I have to stay hidden. So maybe that's it. They kind of did the same thing. They kind of both stayed hidden for a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Tobias's sister, man,
she is cool. She not only she's riding around in this nice ass car with these crazy beats, but then she just walks in and she's like, "Hi, brother. Are we gonna she cuts right to the chase. He's like, let's kill Black Lightning. It's like, I like you immediately. Yeah, she is very to the point. No bullshit.
She's a no bullshit. Yep. I was just going to say that. No bullshit.
Yeah, no bullshit. She comes up with a plan like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she's been gone for 9 years too. Since the last, since Black Lightning was gone, she was like, you don't need me anymore. I'm going to go to Miami and do my own mobster bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I guarantee you she runs something down in Miami.
Mm-hmm. No, she was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of concerned for Anissa, though.
Yes.
I feel like if she doesn't pair up with her dad or at least learn something from Gimli, that...
From Gimli?
Gimli.
Gimli.
Oh, okay.
Gimli. That she's gonna cause a lot of damage.
Bambi?
Bambi? I thought it was Gimli. Is it Gambly? I don't know.
Gambly?
Why can't we just call him Alfred? It would
Alfred.
Make it so much...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just, he is Alfred.
he is Black Lightning's Alfred.
He is Alfred meets Edna Mode. That's who he is.
Yep. I like him, but at the same time, he's kind of annoying. He had some quick snips this episode. Like he was on this jokey side where it was kind of a serious situation right now. But to be fair, a lot of people do tell jokes when shit's going down.
Yeah.
Defense mechanism.
My favorite was he was showing Black Lightning the new electric vision, and Jefferson was just like, if you told me you had this, I would have come back 5 years ago.
That was pretty cool, though, because you could see all the electrical currents of, everything that ran by electricity, and it did look like X-ray, but it was really pretty.
Yeah.
It was very shiny.
That's not just going to help him see through walls and shit. That's going to help him use his powers more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. He'll be able to zip into. Well, he can't live wire zip into something, but he can use his electricity to be like, I'm gonna manipulate that.
Yep.
No, not like that. More like this, but same thing. Spirit fingers.
Fingers.
Oh, but he did make that he heard explosions. Is that what it was? It was the fight between Anissa and those.
Yeah, and at first I thought it was her pushing them, she broke their ribs, because the first time she fights the two drug dealers on the street corner, she breaks their ribs. He's wheezing, he almost dead. She has to call an ambulance for him. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was just her breaking more ribs, but she bashes her heel into the concrete.
Makes craters like a meteorite. It's just there was 4 or 5 explosions from her doing that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There was enough to make Jefferson be like,
I gotta go check that.
I gotta go see. There might be bombs going off or something. Yeah. But he gets there and there's just people on the ground, and I think because he asked Gimli to check the surveillance around there. I think Gimli kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah, he might have an inkling. What I would like to see is him reach out to Anissa,
yeah,
without telling Jefferson just yet and have her come to Jefferson when she's ready.
Because she was kind of saying to Grace, like, I don't want to go to my parents for everything anymore. I'm a grown adult. I can make my own decisions. And it's like, this is something a little bit different.
Yes.
You might need to talk to somebody, sweetheart. And
yeah, this is not like buying a house. This is
you can't be transparent with Grace because she's like your new girlfriend who's bisexual, and she's just. I mean, you guys are kind of just getting to know each other. You can't be like, "Hey, I'm a superhero. I have superpowers. Yay!" I did like the conversation Anissa was having with the police, though. The police sergeant, like, she's like, Black Lightning's doing a service. You guys are doing shit. Straight out, she's like, no offense, but.
And I mean, there's obviously he's gonna say that, you know, Black Lightning's a vigilante, he's acting outside the law, he's putting more people in harm's way, and I mean he is, but you know, it's a different world, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get how because I know last episode they made a reference to the title of this episode, and not once did anybody bring it up. Because
yeah, they didn't bring it up this episode.
No. And I didn't really see any correlation to it.
No.
So, I mean, I don't title episodes because it's not my job, but I guess maybe, I mean, I could have thought of a different title, but I'm not in that industry. It's not my job. I don't know what's going on.
Well, the titles have, all of them so far have like a connecting thread, which is slightly biblical. So like the first one is the resurrection.
Okay. Yeah, and then
Black Lightning coming back.
The one, and then the two after that were books of.
Yeah, Book of Hope, Book of Burial, but so pre-titled with Lawanda, who was the woman who died trying to save her daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next episode is called "And the Devil Brought the Plague," the Book of Greenlight. So there's like a loose thread there.
Well, I mean, it is like they did make it so that like religion is a big, like it does have like it has this like a subcontext in Black Lightning because it is very, very, I mean, adamant in cultures, in that culture anyway. Like
it's tied to this community.
Yes. Like God and church is a big thing, and like you see that even with Jefferson's family, they go to church and they're with the Reverend on the march. I mean, it's a big part of their family, not even including the rest of the community, and it's I don't know. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I feel like in situations like that, you know, people need a little bit of hope, and that's what church provides.
Mm-hmm. And on the flip side of that, I actually think that if not Lady Eve, one of her like cohorts, I think there's some voodoo stuff going on, because she's got while she's having this whole conversation with Tobias, she's got like a stick in this dude who clearly has had like an autopsy, but the guy was still breathing. I didn't know. I thought she was just rooting around in a cadaver because she works at a funeral home. I thought she was just embalming.
That's what I thought she was doing.
No, that man was breathing.
I heard swooshing sounds like a liquid going in.
Yep, that man was breathing. So I'm thinking there's some weird voodoo shit going on.
There's magic. I mean, maybe that's why Greenlight has its effects like it does, because
perhaps it might be magical.
They're like freaking around with magic on the side. Yeah. Trying to make
and then Constantine shows up. No, I'm kidding.
He's on Legends.
I know he's on Legends.
Yeah, like maybe they're trying to make like
they didn't
some
know what
kind
to
of
do
like
with Constantine, so they threw him on Legends.
Like some super soldier kind of thing. They're experimenting. Ooh. And so they have like this really, you know, powerful army to take over more than just Freeland. Just have that extra bang for your buck in the back pocket kind of thing.
Interesting. And I also am a very big fan of every scene that Lady Eve is in. She's like giving like a speech. She's also doing something else completely different. Like the first time, was that last episode, the episode before?
Yes.
She was writing a letter the entire time and seals it at the end of the whole scene. And in this one, she's just like embalming a dude. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of all the scenes Lady Eve is in.
She's very charismatic for someone who can multitask like that. Usually, like, if I'm trying to talk about something and I'm doing something else, I'm very droll because I can't really focus on, inclinations in my speech and, like, little emotion and stuff. So I give her that. She's good.
She's very deliberate in the way she speaks, too. Mm-hmm. So she's, like, putting all this emphasis and effort into her voice, but also equally to what she's doing physically. Mm-hmm. She's fascinating. I like her.
I mean, and that whole like magic thing and in green light, that makes me even more suspicious of what it's gonna do because of Tobias going to Khalil at the end of the episode.
Yes.
It was like he was like saying, "Here, I'm gonna grant you some sort of wish. I'm gonna make it so that you can walk again. I'm gonna, give you these gifts." And it's like, Are you gonna give him powers? Is
I don't know what he's gonna do, man. Because it definitely, you might be onto something with the super soldier thing because there's something up with Tobias. Mm-hmm. Tobias seems like he is stronger than a normal person, but there hasn't been much evidence supporting that. It's a feeling I get.
Yeah.
By the way, he just very easily choked the life out of Lala. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easily. Like,
yeah.
With one hand, no effort looked like. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's some sort of
and Lady Eve was talking about magic in old, like when they would grind up the bones of albinos.
Right. How albinos were magic. I completely forgot about that part of the conversation.
I can't. There's just too much going on now.
By the guy she was embalming.
See, like I was like, not much happened. There was a lot of little things that happened that I'm now remembering, and oh my god.
And I think we should, since we brought up Khalil, we should talk about the other sister.
Jennifer.
Yes. Sorry. Names. I'm still getting used to everybody's names because we have been introduced to a lot of characters in these 4 episodes. I thought it was going to be that Jennifer, because they showed, like, in the promos, her kind of breaking down a little that we do see in this episode, and I thought that was kind of catching up with her from her ordeal, but it's Khalil. She's broken up about what's happened to him. And I think Tobias paid the doctor to say his spine was severed. I don't think it actually is.
Because they like, you can start, I mean, I don't know, because maybe he was doing too much in the beginning because he was only slightly severed before and now he's completely severed, and like he was doing a lot of physiotherapy and he was moving around a lot. It is possible he could have damaged his spine more, but I don't think it would have completely over the like a day or two been ripped apart kind of thing.
It's possible, but it is suspicious that the doctor says that right after Khalil received all of those gifts from Tobias.
Mm-hmm.
And after Tobias started paying his medical bills. So that definitely seems like he paid the doctor to say that his spine was severed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Lady Eve did make it sound like Khalil was very, very valuable to the community because she's like, he was going to be in the Olympics. Tobias was like, no, he wasn't. But he was a very, very enthused, motivated, athletic. He was going to get scholarships and everything. So it is possible he could have made it to the Olympics eventually. Mm-hmm. So I feel like after that talk, Tobias was like, okay, I'm going to make it so that he is going to make it to the Olympics per se.
Yeah.
He's going to recover.
Give him that hope, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. this whole magic thing, and it's just kind of dripping in, and it's everything's so, I don't know, it's there, but we can't quite put our finger on it because it still has like a mist over it. You don't know exactly where to poke.
They're taking their time with the world building.
Yes,
it's paying off.
I
think the last thing I wanted to mention was that Jennifer quit track.
Yeah.
And Jefferson was definitely like, no, you're not quitting track. He was gonna go overboard, like, father on her.
Mm-hmm.
But the mother was like, well, we'll see in a couple days if you change your mind. She's very moderate about it. I just feel like there's gonna be a point where one of the girls does something and he's just gonna kind of snap and overreact and
kind of
overpunish. Yeah.
Maybe. Because there was that whole conversation where she said that Jennifer should move in with her, the mom.
Yes, she did.
And I think she's doing this on purpose so that Jennifer wants to move in with her, making Jefferson look like he's a little bit too overprotective, a little bit too strict.
Maybe. There's also something going on with her, with the ex-wife. Because when Jefferson's talking to her on the phone, she's like, I gotta go. And it seemed very, like, I don't know, suspicious to me. It could be nothing.
It could be nothing.
But it felt suspicious.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is next week for Black Lightning look like?
And then the devil brought the plague. The Book of Greenlight is the title of the episode. Payback is a bitch. An unexpected phone call unearths the long-buried need for Jefferson to investigate the murder of his father. Meanwhile, Anissa wrestles with the fact that her actions have dire consequences. Lastly, Jennifer learns the importance of controlling her temper in all situations.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. She's a teenager.
But anger is like, should be in the spelling of teenager. Like, can't have one without the other. On Arrow, episode 13, The Devil's Greatest Trick, Caden James discovers a secret about Green Arrow that pushes him over the edge. Knowing everyone and everything he loves is in danger, Oliver must decide if he can do this alone or if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help. And William starts to demand more of Oliver's time. That's a little upsetting because we just had, not this episode, but the episode before, where William seemed to understand his father a little bit more. So, but I mean, once again,
he's also put in the Argus safe house for
that is true. But once again, William is a teenager.
Yes.
So
yes, that is true.
They are very demanding.
Yeah.
As mine walks into the kitchen.
Anybody got Supergirl, or do I have to look that one up?
No, I got Supergirl, and here's the thing. You know how we were thinking we're gonna have a little bit of overlap? We're gonna have like 5 shows to cover for a while. That's not true because Supergirl's going on break until April 16th.
They're all going on break.
Okay, but Legends comes back.
Oh, till April. I'm sorry, April.
It goes on break till April 16th, and then Legends actually comes back February 12th. So Legends will be taking Supergirl's spot until it's done airing until April 9th. And then I think it goes on break again. Or no, it doesn't.
Yeah, actually, the next episode of Black Lightning is next week, but the next episode of The Flash is the 27th.
Okay.
So 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So they're kind of okay.
Staggering them, I guess.
I mean, they are like, because
makes things a little easier on us, so I'm not complaining.
It does. I mean, Legends is going in Supergirl's airing spot on Monday, so they're doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I guess, I mean, Legends is going to be here next week instead of Supergirl. And that episode is called Daddy Darkest.
Great.
After Sarah's encounter with Malice, the Legends are paid a visit by John Constantine, a demonologist detective. The Legends agree the Legends agree to accompany him to a present-day psychiatric hospital, and they're surprised to discover who Constantine is trying to help. During the exorcism, Sarah, Leo, and Constantine go missing, leaving Ray and Zari to take care of Constantine's client. Meanwhile, Amaya and Nate once again come face to face with Kuwasa.
I haven't finished rewatching the first season of Constantine.
Yeah.
Well, get on it.
I know, right?
Forgot. I think I'll be
God,
doing
you've
that
only had how many years?
this weekend. I'll be doing that.
It's only been like 2 years. Right?
Something like that. You've only had 2 years to watch it.
Yeah, so Flash is taking a 2-week break.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And Supergirl's not coming back till April, so we have Black Lightning, Legends, and Arrow to cover.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I'm good.
Did we do the Flash synopsis?
Synopsis?
Nope.
Oh no, there isn't really. It's called Subject 9. Oh my god, why did I want to say 19? I blame Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Subject 9. And it's, I don't know, it seemed like it was a country star. Maybe she's a meta. I don't know.
Country star.
It looked like she was playing country music. I don't know.
I'm gonna hate this episode.
Was her name Cheryl?
I found the synopsis for it.
Charlene.
Oh, did you?
The synopsis for it says, finding out that DeVoe seeks to absorb the powers of the bus metas, Barry, who is now innocent, and Team Flash race to protect the next targeted metahuman.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're not my supervisor!
You're not my superhero supervisor.
Are you?
So, I think that concludes week 13 of the DC verse.
Yar.
Cleo, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Cleomoto.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Ramadan.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
Find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube and Twitch at /ASO TV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Please join us down below on our Discord as well to stay in touch with our shows and stuff like that. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye forever.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week.